Hi all, this is Maria and welcome to my studio. Today's project is this pretty fall ornament on a wood slice. I hope you enjoy this project. It's inspired by the flaming maple in my backyard, which has started to turn for fall. Just gorgeous. We'll be using my standard dotting tools. Use what you have, some nail dotters and my crochet hooks. And then my stencil set here for small stencils. And then these are Arteza wood slices. There are 45 in a box. And they come with these little strings and these wood slices, organic shape. They're not all perfectly round, and they shouldn't be because they're wood slices. I'll be using a variety of DecoArt paints. I'll be using Saffron yellow, bright orange, burnt orange, cranberry wine, avocado. And for my metallic accent, I'll be using copper. I think that's a pretty fall selection. And then I'll be using the DuraClear gloss varnish to finish these off. Be sure to click the Show More button for the tools and materials, and there's a coupon code from Arteza. I've prepared the wood slices by coating them with a couple of coats of matte varnish just to seal the wood. And then I've used some chalk paint to paint a black circle. Let me get my stencils out here and we will draw a stencil, or draw a grid line. I'm just going to use a really light marking. I don't need a whole lot. This is not very big. You could eyeball it if you thought you would do okay with that. And I'll just center my stencil so that I'm inside the line there, and then just put a few marks. I'm really only going to mark a quadrant on this particular wood slice. And there you go. You see, I don't have a whole lot of marks. Now I'm going to get started painting. I will use my K 10.5, 6.5 millimeter crochet hook and the avocado to get my green center. And then I'll use my G6 4 millimeter to put some saffron yellow dots. I'll just get 4 down. And then I'm using a really fine point on the nail dotter, and I'm going around with burnt orange, and I'm making consistent sizes until I get pretty much to the end there. So I'm dipping my paint, my tool in my paint each time, placing a dot, and then cleaning it off really regularly so that I don't get a lot of paint buildup. And just dot all around. For the next row, I'm going to be using the same tool and bright orange. And see how I'm doing consistent dots until I get right to the little valley there, and then I'll start to decrease those dots by walking them down a little bit. Now I'm using my G6 4 millimeter and the cranberry wine just to drop 4 more dots in those valleys. And using the same size tool, I will dot around with the avocado, which is the green. It's a pretty color. Colors really do mimic the colors in the fall leaves, so I'm really pleased with that. Now I'm going to still use the G6 4 millimeter and drop 4 dots of the bright orange. You can see that there. And then I'm using the cranberry wine to put a crown of 3 dots at the top of each of those orange dots, and then walking around, just walking the dots around. I love fall. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Just weather's cool, the scenery's beautiful. Thanksgiving, Halloween, all the different holidays, preparing for those in the upcoming months is fun. All right, let's get that walked around. Now I'm going to start to do some swooshes here. And I'm using a slightly bigger tool and the saffron yellow just to swoosh. Now, one thing I want to mention to you is that these wood slices have texture on them. I didn't sand them all the way down. I did seal them to try to get a little bit of smoothness on the surface and to prevent the paint from soaking in too very much. But they're a little bit, they've got a tooth to them. So when you're making your swooshes, you might see a little jiggle as you make those. But that's okay. It's a handmade ornament. Whoever receives this is going to love it, or if you put it up in your home, it's just going to be beautiful. So swooshes with the saffron yellow. Now I'm using the burnt orange, and we'll just change direction a little bit and hug that cranberry wine and avocado design element there. And now I will go in, same size tool with the avocado, and place a center there, center swoosh. Now I'm using a damp cotton swab to, this is dry by the way, I'm using a damp cotton swab to take off my marks, my chalk marks, because I'm going to start to top dot, and I just want to get that cleaned up before I do that work. Okay, now I'm going in with the copper and just using a smaller size tool, so I use my G6, 4mm for the center dot and a little bit larger nail daughter for those mid-sized dots there. And just placing the copper to highlight. I like adding a little bit of metallic. I think for this piece it's really simple, and the metallic just adds a little bit more zing. And I will top dot the little the cranberry wine. Those are a little bit dark against the black, so I'm going to highlight those a little bit. And that'll just bring those forward a bit more. And then I'll place another little copper dot right at the tip of each one of the green swooshes. For those of you that noticed I missed one, I do go back and dot that one. I know some of you would have noticed that. Okay. So this is how the piece is looking. It's very simple and easy to create this little ornament. Now to finish this off, I've already put one coat of the DuraClear gloss. You could use any kind of finish that you wanted on the varnish. I'm doing it to give it an extra shine. And I'm using the gloss, and I'll just put my second coat on. I'm just going to put 2 coats, I think. You can see that that has a nice shine to it. Get that on there and applied. And it's lovely. I think that's really pretty. What I'm going to do is choose a ribbon. I could use the little twine that comes with the Arteza wood slices, but I'd like to give this a little extra something, a little color and another texture with some of this burnt orange ribbon that I have. I didn't buy anything special. I happen to have this, so use what you have. And I'll just put a simple loop. And I'll tie a knot at the top. Get that positioned. And then I can just clip the ends to tidy those up just a little bit. Clip them at an angle, just because I like the way that looks. And there you go. It's simple. It's simple, but a really pretty fall ornament. These would be really nice as table. You know, I just realized that I'm looking at this and thinking that would be really nice on my Thanksgiving table at little place settings. I think I'm going to do that. So here's the final piece, a little close-up. Here it is on top of some of the fallen leaves from my maple. I think that looks really pretty. And there's so many things you could do this. You could make a set, give them as a gift, use them in your holiday decorations or as gift tags. I think that would be really pretty and unique. Actually, that would be a great gift tag. I hope you enjoyed this project. Thanks so much for joining me in my studio. I'd love it if you'd subscribe, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Keeps me encouraged and helps me bring you these videos. So thank you so much for joining me in my studio today. Take care.